Hey there, coin collectors and history buffs. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most intriguing coins in U.S. history, the 1965 Kennedy half-dollar. Was it made of silver? Is it rare? And most importantly, what's its circulated value today? Stick around because we're breaking it all down. First, a quick history lesson. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. The 1964 coins were 90% silver, but due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint changed the composition in 1965 to a copper-nickel-clad, outer layers of 75% copper/25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. That means most 1965 half-dollars contain no silver, but there's a twist. Rumors persist that a few 1965 silver proofs were accidentally struck, but these are extremely rare and worth thousands. For today, though, we're focusing on regular circulated 1965 half-dollars. So, what's a typical circulated 1965 half-dollar worth? Well, since over 65 million were minted, they're not rare in worn condition. Most are worth 50 cents to $1** for heavily circulated coins, scratches, wear. $2 to $5** for lightly circulated pieces, minor wear, details intact. $5 to $10+ * for uncirculated examples, bright luster, no marks. But here's the kicker: if you find one in proof-like condition or with double die errors, it could be worth $20 to $100+. Always check for anomalies. Want to hunt for hidden treasures? Here's what to look for. 1. Edge check. A silver 1965 half-dollar would have a solid silver edge, no copper line. If you see copper, it's clad. 2. Mint marks. No mint mark equals Philadelphia. But in 1965, all halves were minted in Philly due to a coin shortage. 3. Errors ***. Look for double dies, especially on "In God We Trust" or off-center strikes. Pro tip: grab a loop and inspect your coin carefully. Even small errors can add value. Now, should you sell your 1965 half-dollar? If it's worn, it's likely not worth grading. Just spend it or keep it as a cool piece of history. But if you've got a pristine or error coin, consider getting it graded by PCGS or NGC to maximize value. Silver junk stackers. Note, these are mostly not silver, but they're still fun to collect. So there you have it. The 1965 Kennedy half-dollar isn't a rare silver coin, but it's a fascinating piece of U.S. numismatic history. Check your change, raid Grandpa's coin jar, and who knows? You might find a hidden error worth big bucks. The 1965 Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a coin, it's a snapshot of a nation in transition. From the emotional tribute to a fallen president to the economic forces that changed its composition, this coin has a fascinating backstory. Today, we're diving deep into its history. Why was 1965 such a critical year for the half-dollar? Let's find out. The Kennedy half-dollar was born out of tragedy. After President John F. Kennedy was assassinated on November 22, 1963, the U.S. government moved quickly to honor him on a coin. Congress approved the new half-dollar design just 1 month later, and the first coins, dated 1964, were struck in January 1964. These 1964 Kennedy halves were 90% silver, a standard for U.S. coins at the time. But by 1965, everything changed, and here's WHYAN. The early 1960s, the price of silver was skyrocketing. People began hoarding silver coins, melting them down for profit. The U.S. Treasury faced a crisis. Coins were disappearing from circulation, leading to a nationwide coin shortage. To stop the hoarding, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, removing silver from dimes and quarters, and reducing the half-dollar's silver content from 90% to 40%. But here's the twist. 1965 was a transition year. No 40% silver halves were officially released for circulation. That's right, ***, all 1965 Kennedy halves were made of copper-nickel-clad ***, just like modern quarters. The 40% silver version didn't appear until 1965 special mint sets, which we'll cover later. So unless you have a rare error or a proof, your circulated 1965 half is not silver. Here's another odd fact. In 1965, all Kennedy half-dollars were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. No Denver or San Francisco issues.
Why?
The U.S. Mint was overwhelmed by demand for the new clad coins and focused production in one facility to speed things up. That's why 1965 halves have no mint mark. Philadelphia didn't use one until 1980. If you find a 1965 half with a D or S mint mark, it's either a fake or a fantasy coin. Now, let's tackle a big myth. Are there any 1965 silver half dollars in circulation? Officially, no. But rumors persist that a few 40% silver 1965 proofs escaped the mint. These would be incredibly rare and worth thousands if authenticated. But for the average collector, a circulated 1965 half is copper-nickel. The only way to confirm silver is to check the edge. No copper stripe means it's silver. If you think you found one, get it graded by PCGS or NGC immediately. The 1965 Kennedy half marked the end of an era, the last year before the half-dollar silver content was reduced to 40%, 1965 to 1970, and then eliminated entirely in 1971. Today, it's a symbol of America's shift from silver to clad coinage, a piece of history you can hold in your hand. So there you have it. The 1965 Kennedy half-dollar isn't just pocket change. It's a relic of a time when America's coinage was changing forever. Whether you're a collector, history buff, or just curious, this coin has a story worth telling. Do you have a 1965 half-dollar? Let's chat! And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more coin guides. Until next time, happy hunting!